It would make sense to me that that same kind of procedure would apply, you know, to a homeschool student. I can understand why they, you know, why the district wants to know who's in the building.
It's not a face they see every day, so the
Right.
chaperones would be like,
Yeah.
who's this?
Right.
But do you think
Where'd you
that,
come from? Yeah, in today's world, unfortunately.
yeah, because the statute really does seem to indicate that this should be allowed.
Right.
But, you know, there's gotta be, I understand, you know, what I'm gonna call proper safeguards, that makes sense. But there shouldn't be like a blanket prohibition, I don't think.
Field trips was another thing you said Steph mentioned.
Yeah, like special year-end field trips, like there are some groups that go to Canopy, as an example, where it's not clearly a learning opportunity per se, it's kind of a fun field trip.
Right, absolutely.
And those are things that homeschoolers have been denied participation based on what, I'm using Canopy as an example of something that's not a clear academic field trip. But those sorts of things, where a homeschooler isn't supposed to participate.
So it says provide opportunities for social development.
Right.
I don't know if that's the same as, and I'm not trying to be oppositional, I don't know if social development is the same as social opportunities.
Fair enough. But then why do schools even offer dances if it's us, not us?
I always
How
thought
would
it
you
was
qualify
fundraising.
that?
Yeah, I mean, it's raising money.
Yeah.
Which case the more the merrier.
But you can make that argument. that it's,
Right.
I wonder,
We don't do things like Canopy anymore, you know, unless like the music department might use it as an earned field trip for achieving certain things, then, you know,
yeah,
even
that
if
would
it's
be
a,
different.
right.
Yeah.
But, you know, so if it's a reward based on something, that might be, but I don't,
Right. Now, if it's a earned thing, obviously that would apply to someone who hasn't earned it. But is it possible, maybe we could talk about this
yeah,
over the summer and come up with, see, it's gotta be something that districts can.
right, and I don't know if there are
Yeah.
regional differences, like there's some regions of the state that are
Mhm.
less restricted than others, and requests, I don't even know of requests being made in our area, but.
I mean, this isn't something that, you know, that HEAC could make some rule, but we could certainly come up with a proposal.
It provides some kind of guidance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like show it to the department, but some kind of a proposal
Yep.
that's reasonable could be proposed, and, you know, in the fall, we can figure out the best way to actually get it implemented.
Yeah.
I can try to gather some data. We have,
Mhm.
our principals meet once a month. We have one more meeting left this year before our summer break.
You know,
And just kind of ask them if they've had many inquiries for participation in things like field trips and dances from, or
That would be helpful.
just get some data.
I'd like to get more data from Steph as well, just to see what she's running into
Yeah.
and if it's all in the same area or if it's all over the place. You know, maybe we can just make a few phone calls and pretty easily clear it up, or like you said, we can make an entire proposal and recommend
Yeah, I
something
think-
too.
because there's so much, so many different things going on in different areas. If we, you know, Helen and Mike can help us come up with something that will be acceptable, or that they think will be acceptable to
Absolutely.
districts, and then we can show it around, see if we can get it, you know.
Yeah, because schools have to make so many laws, you know, just to be able to protect the students for the most part, that they're not gonna go back through and see, there's too much for them to go through and say, oh, well, we might be crossing lines here and here and here. It's,
Mhm.
you know, we've just happened to find one where boundaries are abutting, so we'll have to help make it a little bit clearer. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'd be curious how common an issue that is.
Yeah, me too. But it's
poll your group lists, or, you know, who's come
Yeah.
across this, how frequently have you come across this, is it?
Yeah. But, I mean, most of the time we have, you know, homeschool proms and homeschool graduation ceremonies, but I've definitely heard about it. I've heard of a few people being like, oh, we'd really like to do robotics teams or whatever. So it would be good to have a nice guideline.
Yeah, and just to chime in, I think the co-curricular stuff is pretty clear, like the clubs
Yeah.
and sports and everything.
Right.
So it seems to be the dance is really kind of like a social event.
Yeah.
I know like the senior activities that the schools do after kind of finals are done. Is that, maybe that's the kind of thing too?
I've heard of like some schools still do a big DC field trip,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
eighth grade, yeah. eighth
and
grade.
the homeschoolers have
Trips.
been denied that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, that would be a hard one, because they don't know the student, and you're taking them overnight in a way, and I don't know how they would gear up for that, knowing the process my children went through to go to the DC trip. It's a long process to get you ready, of setting expectations. It was middle school, not high school.
Yeah.
You know, parents had to come to several meetings, there was like, you know, so it was a,
But if a homeschool parent met those requirements,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the student wouldn't be in school during some of that orientation stuff either, unless, you know, they got a schedule of when to come and.
Yeah.
yeah. And this specifically mentions a board policy, so I wonder if we should talk to the state board, school board association, that they send out clarifications of the boards can make the policy. I mean, would we advise the school board association to advise the boards? Is
Yeah,
that kind of how the
yeah,
process might
that's a
work?
definite possibility.
Because the RSA seems to be really about what the board policy can limit and regulate.
Mhm.
And so it really would be, it'd be at that level, I think.
Sorry, that's the board of,
New
State Board,
Hampshire's
I mean,
School Board
School Board.
Association.
New Hampshire School Boards Association, NHSBA.
Because I'm pretty sure the boards wouldn't know what HEAC is.
Well, we hope so. But if we have a proposal that, you know, that you help us come up with, so that it at least looks like it'll be acceptable to the district, then we have something to work with, something tangible, and it's probably gonna be, it might be amended, people might say, well, okay, but at least if we have a proposal, we got something. So that, you think that's a good idea?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think first we just need some clarification on, you know, what are some general practices of some schools, and then making them aware that, you know, this is what you're supposed to be doing, how you go about making it happen.
Right.
It's a school by school process you can establish, but you need to make it access available.
And this wouldn't be something where we have meetings every 2 weeks that last 3 hours.
Oh, come on.
Well, if you want, we can do that. But I think, you know.
I vote no.
No, proposals are good.
So you guys would be willing to serve on that
Sure.
committee?
Well. Maybe.
It
When
would
are we
be-
getting to the, did you already talk about expiring terms?
I did that while you weren't here, so you couldn't.
Yes.
All right, we'll go back and talk about it.
I'm not 100%, I will stay on until I can coerce a colleague to maybe step in, only because I am president-elect for the Special Ed Administrators Association now, so
Oops.
2 years I'm president-elect, and 2 years I'm president. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do that, but.
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking up my roles, taking on a little bit more in my district. And we have a couple of new key staff that I'm gonna have to orient next year.
So you're continuing as superintendent down
The Director of Student Services. Yeah, I'm not superintendent.
there?
No, Director of Student Services. I would never be superintendent.
All right.
thought I did at one point, but then when you watch, you're that close and you watch every day, who would want that job? Okay. So, anyway, yeah, I don't know if I should be renominated or just, well, I have some people in mind with the same background, like they're directors of student services or assistant superintendents in charge of student services, because I think that is a big piece sometimes with homeschoolers.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So I think bringing that knowledge here is a good thing.
So helpful.
And it's been a very good learning experience for me as well, so I've got some people,
If you wouldn't mind sending me the names, then I can also get them to the commissioner as well.
yeah, once they tell me they're interested.
Right.
And I will stay on until we find somebody. I won't leave you with a blank spot, but
Thank you.
I'm trying to wean my way. Oh, no, I will miss it. This is my third trip to Concord this week, so
Oh my God.
I should keep doing this.
I can keep sending you minutes.
Some weeks are worse than others, it all just kind of,
Yeah. All right, I will let the commissioner know that. Stay on until you find a replacement. Does anybody know about Kara or David, their opinions on staying on?
I have a feeling that Kara may not be able to do it because she's been absent a lot this year because of conflicts with
The library?
the library stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
So we'll give her a call and see, you can talk to her and I'll talk to her and see what's happening. But that's she hadn't said that to me.
Yeah, reach out to Kara and David, so we'll see what they say. VLAX, we're still kind of, it's in the report that we just really don't have a very clear boundary, again, needing to define some boundaries with VLAX pullout. Mike, I know a long, long time ago you had tried to contact them and they weren't really forthcoming with you.
Yep.
Has anything changed there?
No, I haven't had any further contact with them.
Okay, I haven't either. It's a gray area, and I don't know if that's something where it would also be good for us to make a recommendation to say, hey, we think that it's not a great idea to force people to homeschool as they're becoming,
Right.
virtual students, I guess. Because you don't want to push this on somebody.
no, and if they planned ahead and they knew that's what they were wanting to do is get into it, be on full time, then you start the process earlier while your child's still
Summer or
enrolled.
something, yeah.
Start it earlier.
Some people, that works for a lot of people. Some people come to VLAX in sort of a state of emergency where it's like, I've got to find something else to do with my kids and I need to pull them out now. And these are the people, it's not, they're outliers for sure,
Yeah.
but these are definitely the people we need to find a solution for.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to homeschool, but they can't stay for whatever reason in their district any longer or in their school any longer. So finding a recommendation on what to do with these kids, whether it be a physical location of where they can be for the 6 to 8 weeks, I believe, that it takes to, 3 months maybe, that it takes to become a full-time VLAX
I
student.
think so.
That's a good chunk of time that you
Yes.
don't want to be truant for. So where to physically put a child for that length of time if the parents are saying we really don't want them in the school building for whatever reason, or maybe they can go to school but be at the library, but then how do you staff that and who's in charge of that student type thing. It's going to be kind of a brainstorming session to figure out what to recommend, I guess, because we don't want it to take up any resources beyond what a typical student would take up. So I'm open for any and all brainstorming ideas.
I mean, there are some tutoring centers that parents could access.
Okay, that's good.
And so that, it's not a school, it's not an approved school program, but if they did say they were gonna homeschool for 3 months or something, they could access different tutoring centers. It would cost them money, but there are some pretty good ones around. that are often used for kids that might have medical issues and they're trying to get back to stamina to come back to school, or in between placements with the school district. Maybe there's a student that needs to be outplaced for whatever reason, and in the meantime, while we're waiting for that placement, we need to provide some instruction and the student can't come to the school. There's one in New York, there's one in Bedford.
And they're called outplacement?
No, they're called tutoring centers.
Oh, okay.
North Star is one, North Star Tutoring Center in Bedford. York, Maine, it doesn't matter, it's not in New Hampshire. It's through Beckett Services, it's run by Jamie Carver.
And all of these costs, these all have costs associated with them
Yeah.
for the most part?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the school district sometimes will access them, for our benefit, for students who, if we can't find a tutor to meet with the student, like at the local library, or, there's also, someone took my tongue, it's another service, it's not, instead of a place, there's people that would come and tutor.
Like at a home or?
Yeah, or with, they
Public.
try to go to like a public place.
Okay.
New England Tutors.
That's fun.
You would come to me, my brain is still working. On Thursday afternoon. In May. In May. Might be something as an in-between thing, but I don't know. if
Right,
Parents want to take on associated costs.
right,
It's only 3
that's,
months,
I don't know,
it's an option.
I'm not sure there's any other status, which, like a
Right.
temporary status, I mean, you're enrolled, or you're not enrolled, and if you're not enrolled, you're homeschooled, or you're privately enrolled.
Right,
I don't know if there's
right.
some kind of other designation.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Truant.
Or so- or-
Right, yeah, true. There's gotta be some sort of,
Right, I mean, because good example, we have a student who is on an educational